That's weird. I have taken us live, but I'm...
Hmm.
Huh?
What?
I've never seen this before. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Hi, Fred. Sarah. Hello. Hey, Boris. Hey, Peach. What's going on, everybody?
Jack,
Yeah?
we missed you.
I missed you too,
I
man.
mean, Lonnie is a delight.
Hmm.
I think she's
She is.
pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
She's pretty neat. Yeah, she's
she's
neato.
yes. But it's very good to see your
Mm.
face. I'm glad that you're
Thanks,
back. How are you
man.
feeling?
I'm feeling much better than I have been. So yeah,
Yes.
that's good. That's good. No, it's been a hell of a experience. I was gonna say journey, but journey, no, it wasn't really a journey. It was an experience.
Well,
Um,
if you a journey could be something that you're dragged along, kicking and screaming through while moaning and protesting.
that sums up the experience perfectly, Ian.
Well, before we
Yeah.
go too far, everyone, you are sitting in the stream for the bi-weekly rewatch that we do this week. We are watching Listening to Fear.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're new here, which I see, Stephen
Stephen,
Coleman,
welcome.
welcome.
Tom, hey man. Howdy,
Um,
Tom.
we are, I mean, because of copyright and all of that, we are not allowed to stream the episode into YouTube. So the way we do it is everyone queues up their own copy, and then we give a 3, a 2, a 1, and a go. And then we all hit play at the same time, and that
That's
kind of
what
keeps
we
all of
do.
us roughly in sync.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to wait about 5 minutes here. Go and get your copy. I think it's on Amazon Prime in the States or Hulu. Um,
Um,
we do not have a
it's
previously on, just so you know. So if your version starts with previously on Buffy, make sure you go to the end of the previously on, right where the episode starts, and then wait for us to give the countdown, and then we'll go.
for those of you in Australia, I believe it is on Foxtel Go. I think,
The
but
Aussies.
screw Foxtel.
That's some fair dinkum advice.
Sure, Ian. Yeah,
Hey, I'm trying, Jack.
you you
I'm
did you you
trying.
did you did good, sweetie. You
I
did
want
real
my
good.
pat on the head.
I'm reaching out and I'm patting your smooth little head and bad income,
Disney
bad
Plus too.
income.
I think the Disney Plus version is the
I forgot.
remaster. Just so you know.
I forgot to check if we have it on Disney Plus in my neck of the woods. I think maybe I don't know. Actually,
Um,
probably not because Foxtel are greedy jerks.
Nina, a long time no see. Welcome, welcome.
Hey,
Uh,
nice to see everybody here.
yeah. So, Jack,
Mm-hmm.
you're very familiar with my process. Do we
Oh,
call? I mean,
it's a process.
I suppose
It's a
that any
process because it does follow. There's always a certain amount of like familiar markers along the way.
sure,
Shall
yeah,
we say?
any clusterfuck that repeats itself on a regular basis can technically qualify as a
Hey,
process,
hey, hey,
right?
you called it a clusterfuck, not me, okay? Let's just
Yeah.
make that very clear.
So the way that it goes is the first 2 weeks are typically like me brainstorming. That's where the live tweet session goes. I sort of like bring the ideas together. I end up with pages of bullet points, and then I start clustering the bullets by ideas and grouping them and
Mm-hmm.
trying to build out all of that. And somewhere in that process, the intro and the conclusion come along to me. And the writing, I'm a slow writer. Writing takes me forever. I'm a very fast video editor, but the
Yeah.
writing process takes me for freaking ever. And it's where all the anxiety and stress and all of that is, right?
Yeah, your editing is super fast, but it's always very smooth and very well done. Like you don't
Yeah,
half-ass it. It's great.
I'm a good editor. I write stuff.
You're an amazing
So
editor.
that's fine.
You're a good writer too. You're a good writer. How dare you? How dare you, sir?
So about 10 days ago, I realized the month was coming to an end. I've set this goal of gotta get a video a month. We do the Patreon hangouts, and the podcast is sort of a stopgap so that this community is still here and fostering and so forth. But and the Into the Woods video is I have scripts started for every future video in the episode guide, so that when I have an idea about a particular episode, I can just pop open that script and I throw in bullets. The Into the Woods video, before I started writing, was 4 pages long.
Yeah, you and I have been talking about this particular video for years now.
Yeah. That's how many notes were in the Into the Woods script before I started writing it, because I had been throwing bullets into this video for years. So when I got done, an average video this season is about 6 or 7 pages. At one point, the Into the Woods script was 22 pages long.
Holy crap! Last we talked about it, it was like 14, I think, and that was only a week or two ago.
I got it during the script writing process down to about 17 or 18 pages, and then
I always get nervous when you say that, because I'm like, I hope you didn't cut anything good just because this arbitrary idea that then has to be under a certain amount of time. No, Ian, no.
I don't know. I posted a news update yesterday about this and said that I'm trimming, and a bunch of the comments are exactly like yours. Like, don't cut stuff.
Exactly. Like, this community has said time and time again they love your longer form stuff, and you seem to be hung up on this idea that, like, especially you don't like the idea of it being longer than Restless. And
no, I don't.
Like,
that's like.
I get your reasoning.
What's the longest video in the episode guide? Go fish. It makes no sense. I don't want, like,
it makes
Restless
sense
is a
if
thing
you
of
have
beauty.
things to say. It doesn't matter if you've still got shit to say. Now I'm not going to pat you on the head. I'm going to reach through the screen and shake you.
That's fair dinkum. Okay.
That's not how that doesn't work.
Okay, I'll keep trying.
Fair income is like, fair income. It's like an exclamation. It's like okay. Like, it's not fair income. Okay, no, my sweet boy, no.
Well, so I recorded the audio for it, and the total runtime of the audio before I started adding clips and before there's a live action intro.
Yeah.
Was longer than Restless.
Okay, how long?
I don't want to say, but it was too long.
Is that because when I see how much you cut, I'm going to yell at you? Is that why?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So my goal is, so I'm about 50% of the way through editing it. I've edited about 20 minutes of the whole project. It is intense and very tangential, and there's a whole bunch of random jokes, and there's live action footage of me. It is weirdly complicated for one of my least favorite episodes of the series.
I saw the first 10 minutes. Didn't I? It's about 10 minutes, right? It's really good from what I've seen, and the intro, the intro might be one of my favorite intros ever.
The summary, like just summarizing the episode, which used to be in the first season or two of the show, was like, if it was a 3-minute video, it would be a 2-minute summary and 1 minute of me reviewing. God, the old videos were so short. It'd be 1 minute review and then 2 minutes.
Well, yeah. You used to again have this arbitrary idea that they had to be 5 to 7 minutes, which is ridiculous.
Well, it used to be. Well, they say that YouTube videos under 7 minutes lose audience after. No, it was 3 minutes when I started the channel. After 3 minutes, you lose audience, and that's no longer the case. Those statistics
but I think the meta's changed. I think.
By the way, I'm not ignoring you, chat. I see you guys. Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah.
But anyway, but the point of the story. So the arc of my process typically goes like, once I'm done recording the audio, I just edit 14-hour days. I edit myself stupid
You
until
find
I get the
and
video up at 1 in the morning,
yeah.
and then I
And
sleep for 2 days.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I know once Ian publishes a video, I don't hear from him for 2 days, and I know that I in that time I just leave him the hell alone, and he
Yeah,
will come back to me when
and
he wants
Lonnie has cataloged that like clockwork. The day after I publish a video, I call her. I'm like, my throat's sore. I think I'm getting sick, and she's like, you're not getting sick. You're crashing. You haven't been taking care of yourself for a week.
You've said that to me several times over
yeah.
the years. I think I'm getting sick. Yeah.
Well, I'm not done with the video yet, and crash hit today. I slept about 14 hours today. My throat is sore. I'm feeling under the weather. And I
I'm
checked
envious.
because of my sleep tracker, and I hadn't gotten more than 5 hours sleep in more than a week. So today was like 12, 14 hours of sleep. So I'm not 100%, is all I'm saying, was the point of that long-winded diatribe.
Okay, yeah. But
So,
yeah, I saw the first 10 minutes of the video. It's very, very good, and you guys are in for a hell of a treat.
it's gonna
I'm very
be.
excited.
I think it's fun, especially for the material that we have to disassemble.
Sarah, length doesn't matter if you've got girth. I mean depth. Wait. That might be my favorite joke you've ever said, Sarah. That's great.
By the way, I'm sorry I'm a little backlit too, but it's summertime. There's not much I can do about it.
Get it?
We
She's talking about. Never mind.
Oh, I got it.
Ian, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, just wanted
You
to
win, Sarah.
before we start watching the episode, I just wanted to let everyone know why there wasn't a new video on the first of the month. In addition to my normal hemming and hawing and procrastination and whatever, that's just part of that cluster. The video is just a bit of a monster. So don't cut down on the Riley dissing, please.
Oh, he's not. He's not. Trust me, he's not.
Well, my whole point of the episodes up until this point was to give as much of an empathetic, compassionate dive on Riley's character as possible. Like, because I especially identify with that. I've experienced points in my life where I was aimless and didn't know what I was doing
I've been
or
a
what I was
Riley.
up to.
Yeah.
And I was in a relationship at the time. And that's a huge problem where, like, that relationship becomes your identity. And so I very much have empathy for him until Into the Woods.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and do some more editing when we're done with the hangout tonight after sushi, because sushi is my post hangout meal, and then tomorrow I'm gonna get up and just be cutting until hopefully it's done Monday at the latest.
I found you always like once you're done writing, like editing is far less stressful for you than writing.
Editing is easy. Editing is the joy. Editing in this process is for me where
I'm much the same.
the creativity starts to appear. Like whatever the joy is from the creative process, if you paint, thinking about the painting to me is less fun than seeing the person's face or the whatever it is emerge from the canvas. And that doesn't happen in this process until you start editing.
Yeah, like I love what we do, and we do a multitude of things at this point, and I do like stuff for Lonnie, and the editing is always where the joy is for me. Don't get me wrong, I love streams and I love hanging out, but I don't know, there's something satisfying about like piecing something together, and when like you have a problem and you spend a while trying to figure out, and then you freaking nail it, like I don't know, it's intoxicating. It's like a high.
Yeah. For me, in this particular kind of edit, if you go and shoot something yourself and then are editing that footage together, it's way different than this kind of thing where you write a script and record and then edit over the top of it. So, but enough about that. Let's go ahead and get started. If you are new, our playhead is here at the bottom of the screen. So you can kind of see where we are in the episode. There's our total runtime, and this is how far we are. I don't know if I'm pointing at the right part of the screen because the stream has not caught up yet. So for me, the joy is in the writing, and some in the performance. The edit is stress. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't. I'm very very different.
Mm,
All the pain is in the writing, and since that's the part where you're getting started, it
mm,
has zero momentum every time. And so it's a cold start for me, which is why I try and stack scripts now so that I can carry whatever little momentum I have from finishing one into the other.
mm.
Do we skip the titles? No, we don't. We're
Yeah,
gonna
we just
watch the
press
whole thing.
play and let it run.
All right, so get your play buttons ready, get your fingers ready.
Mm-hmm. My
I'm
fingers
hitting
ready.
play in 3, 2, 1. Play. Looking at Jello.
Hospital Jello, or jelly as we call it, sucks. And
They
I
call it
speak
jelly?
from experience. Yeah. Over here it says jelly. What you guys call jelly, we call jam.
Oh, okay.
Why I don't know.
What we
But
we
but,
call
but I know
something.
you
We have
you
jam
guys also
too.
have
Yeah.
jam. So
Yeah.
what? But like jelly though, to you, it's like strawberry, raspberry, like gooey stuff that you spread on a piece of bread, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. A conserve, is that what they call it? I don't know.
We doing reunion next or a new project? Oh yeah, reunions after Into the Woods. Of course.
Oh.
New project will be stacked in the next group. Into the Woods just
Over here for me is Australia. I'm an Aussie mate. That sounded like I was being um like a diva. I wasn't.
a fair dinkum diva.
Yeah, there we go. That was better. There you go, buddy. Yes, I am sitting in the library.
We should set it up so that you get half the. Oh, I should be in the. I should be in the magic box.
Yeah. See, the
Yeah.
library is my favorite, so that's why I picked the library.
Yeah.
Diva Jack indeed, Sarah. You know me. I'm such a diva.
This
I like that, Boris. I've been thinking about that. Jacked in.
this section of this season is such
Hmm.
a drag.
Yeah. I don't know. Season 5, it takes a while to get interesting. That's interesting, Nina. Okay. It's nice to know the difference there.
Boy, they use that
This
musical hit quite a bit.
this vampire lady in the tank top looks, I don't know, out of place. She's also a freaking Amazon of a woman. Wow.
What is she about 6'6"? I mean, she's got to be wearing lifts.
Jack, do you know Crocodile Dundee? Yeah, he's my best mate. We go down to the pub and we drink beer.
What is the
together.
American equivalent of Crocodile Dundee? Like the thing that other countries stereotype as the American. Do you know John Wayne?
Um,
I mean, Crocodile Dundee was just the biggest breakout other than Mad Max.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like Crocodile Dundee, it's like The Simpsons in that it's a stereotype, like a very broad stereotype. But what I don't know, like diabetes. I'm sorry, that was harsh.
That was mean.
Hey, I have type 2, so I can't talk. I don't know, man. Ronald Reagan.
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean,
This look right here. What am I doing?
that's pretty much it. Yes, Boris Wilford Brimley has gone to the big diabetes clinic in the sky. Clint Eastwood. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, Clint Eastwood.
I
There you
mean,
go.
John Wayne's also a good one though. Um, yeah.
There we go. I've got the magic box behind me.
I don't see it yet.
You can't see it because you're
Oh,
on the other camera.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, that's the magic box.
This arc really feels out of character for Riley. I don't think so. I think it was built up fine.
Yeah, I mean,
It's out of
built up
character
fine.
for season 4 Riley, but not for season 5 Riley.
He spends a lot of time moping, being all like, "Oh, my girlfriend's stronger than me, and I don't like it, and she doesn't need me." And I have a lot more empathy for him than I'm letting on. A friend of mine described it. She said, both the way Riley and Buffy act are both human. You know,
Yeah.
Buffy pushing him away and like shutting him out, but his reaction to it as well is very human. They're both human.
When I was writing the End of the Woods script, the more I thought about it, the more I don't think she shuts him out that as badly as. No.
I've got major problems with
Yeah,
that.
the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know, I think the way she deals with her mom is well within her rights to make that decision. How we all deal with trauma and all of that
but
is
she
one
still
thing.
shuts him out big time.
I don't think so.
All right.
Wait for the video.
Sure that's you and I are probably gonna have an hour-long debate about that, where we end up yelling at each other.
In about a week when we watch Into the Woods,
yes.
or a month rather when we watch Into the Woods.
Yeah. Indiana Jones is also another good one. That's fine, Christy. I love Christine Sullivan's crazy acting in this. I love it.
This episode's tough. And then you have the snot monster.
Amanda Patrick says Riley is normal, which is so abnormal it's abrasive in the Buffyverse. Yeah.
That's a good way to sum it up. When every really character is built out of megaquark.
Was it you, Ian, who said that like Jane Espenson or someone said that they made a mistake because they wrote Riley as a symbol rather than a character?
Yeah,
I heard that somewhere.
I think that was Marty Knox in the Mutant Enemy Writers reunion on the Nerdist podcast.
Okay. Yeah, like it's very apparent. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they realized after they wrote him onto the show that no one in the writers' room knew how to write that kind of character. Mm-hmm. They could all write the like messed up, vice-driven, problematic, emotionally damaged character. As soon as he gets that way, he becomes far more interesting to me.
But he's like a piece of cardboard before that.
Yeah, there's almost 2 Rileys in season 5 too. There's the it's not good enough for you if I'm not powerful enough, Riley, and then there's the Riley that's just after that.
And you know what? Like he had so little to do that before he goes through his like drug withdrawal thing. I questioned whether like it was just a bad performance from Mark Blucas, but then you see how he portrays like the drug addiction thing, and no, the dude can actually act. It's just that beforehand he just had nothing to freaking do.
I think Mark's been fine. God, Ben's hair.
Right? And,
was that,
that
in
jaw,
fashion?
That jaw.
Was that in fashion when the episode aired?
Probably. I don't know, man. Fashion always comes full circle every 10 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, no, this was early 2000s. So early 2000s, it was all like undercuts and...
Yeah, that looked late 90s to me. I love boy band Ben. This is the only scene in this episode I like.
Really?
Yeah, this episode, I don't like this episode. Oh, this and the
Like
sink.
we,
The sink. I always forget about the bit at the sink. That is
you know,
heartrending
so
and emotional.
was it? No, it was the day before yesterday. Yeah. The day before yesterday, you got me to make the thumbnail for this.
Hmm.
When I was skipping through the episode, trying to find the screenshot I used of Joyce in the bed, I accidentally stumbled on the bit at the sink, and I had that song in my head for the rest of the day,
Yeah,
and it drove me mental.
I think that's the point.
Yeah. Um. I mean, I like this scene, but like I
Yeah,
said
this
the other day when we were talking about it, I think the horror elements are pretty good in this one.
they're yeah. This is a weird. This episode is the most X-Files like episode, and it's on purpose. They make jokes
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
this is the most X-Files like episode. The monster
Yeah.
looks like the Fluke Man from the X-Files.
Yeah. You showed me that.
It's like government space,
Mm.
whatever. But it's a weird episode given the what's going on at this point in the series to choose
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
See,
like it just I don't know, it's very strange. It's a way of
see,
getting the pieces they were needing to move was probably to get the
right.
initiative back into Riley's life or the government.
See, I don't necessarily dislike this episode. Like, I think it's not good, but it's just I'd say it's like just a tiny bit below mediocre, you know. But I mean, as much as I don't mind it, it wouldn't even be like top 50 or top 100 episodes, even. Like, it's yeah. If
The thing
Buffy
is,
is cookie dough, then Riley is vanilla extract.
like the subparness of any particular episode is so relative to the season that it's inside of.
Hmm.
Like Into the Woods is compared to some of the slower, poorer episodes of seasons 1 and 2 is very
Hmm.
entertaining.
Well, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Like, I'd rather watch this over like Go Fish
yeah,
or
yeah, and I
um.
agree with that. But at this point, the bar has been raised enough
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you know we just have higher expectations, I suppose.
I don't know. I think this also appeals to some of my um horror tastes, I guess. Like, I like the crazy, like, um what am I trying to say? Like, this guy. I like crazy characters being crazy.
That monster.
I don't know words. Never mind. It just, yeah, this just appeals to some of my taste in horror, I guess. Yeah,
It's
the
just a
monster.
weird mix of flavors in
It is.
and
It is
dealing
a
with
weird mix.
like the shock of Joy's illness, and no one sees that.
Yeah, I find that weird too. Also, yeah, you know what? No, I'm gonna save it for the hangout because I don't have a lot to say as it is. So
That guy looks familiar to me.
boy, I know that feeling. I want to go home. Actually, no. The last couple of weeks, I've been in so much pain. I didn't want to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recognize him. The doctor.
See, there's a lot of tough reality
Mm,
bits in this, and the
mm.
mix of the turd monster and the horror elements feels bizarre to me.
It
Like
is.
they may
It
have
is a
thought that
mismatch of weird shit.
yeah, they may have thought that like well this is we're combining the horrors of real life with actual
Mm,
horror. But those two things
yeah.
actually don't go together in my head. Like
No.
They are very distinct, separate flavors.
Also, like, sorry, finish your
No,
thought.
no, no. Go ahead. That was it.
Is this episode? It's basically filler, because there's anything important happen here? Not really.
The big piece that gets moved is the government comes back to Sunnydale so Riley can meet them. That's
But
it.
again, that could be done elsewhere in.
It's kind of a point that I have in
Yeah.
Into the Woods is at this point in the season, at this point in the season, the way the Joyce illness stuff resolves and all of that makes it feel like a lot of this was just to drive Riley and Buffy apart to get Riley off the show.
Right, yeah.
Which is
yeah.
a weird use of
Yeah.
this kind of material. Now,
Yeah.
at this point in the season, things feel that way. You know, and part of the theme of this season now is stripping things away from Buffy and isolating Buffy, so that's not that was an unimportant thing to have happen. And
Right.
Riley, according to the writers, was always intended to be a temporary boyfriend for her,
Yeah.
but he
right.
went way beyond temporary.
Hmm.
Trying to do the metaphor of the thing next to the real of the thing is the non-mixy thing. You said it all, Sarah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Sarah
You said
just
a lot,
summed
but you
it
said
up.
it all.
Yeah, and said it much better than we just did.
Well, and to me, the latex, gross, basket case 1980s style monster
See, I
ends
like
up
the Queller.
demeaning the material a little bit. Like
What?
the seriousness
I don't
of
get
her
that at all.
illness, having the monster puke on her face in her bedroom. Like
I don't get that at all.
it's just me then.
I think the Queller's done really well. Kind of. I mean, looks creepy. And I like that, like, especially that scene where she's in bed yelling at it on the ceiling. Like,
I mean,
I
like,
don't see.
because
I
there's so
don't
many
see how
flavors.
it.
Buffy's crying over the sink, that isolation, that of taking care of a parent in this kind of situation, and the pain that she's struggling with and feeling, like that's all so real and grounded.
But
and
I don't think the Queller affects any of that. It doesn't.
it seems to me to not give that material its due. The thing that I thought of was the Nazi Holocaust fascist monsters in the episode Hero,
See, I
where
don't have
it's
a problem
like,
with them either.
yeah, there are certain things that
It's
it's
a
just like
metaphor.
it's in bad taste to reach for these kind of
But it's-
top shelf themes.
But it's
with this
Buffy. There has to
kind
be
of
a
treatment.
monster. Like I don't get it. Like it's Buffy.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this wasn't it for me. That's all I can
No,
say,
no,
and that's
no,
purely
no,
subjective, of course.
I'm not trying to be like Ian. You're wrong. I'm trying to get where you're coming from, because I don't know. Like do you think that a different demon would have worked better, or is it purely the falling on her
Probably.
and vomiting on her face? Like I don't.
Or to
Yeah,
do a
I-
magic plot, or I mean, they did a magic plot already.
Hmm.
Beauty and the Beast is top tier bad taste. Well, Boris, I know that my opinion on Beauty and the Beast is also there are people who value that episode, who relate to the material, and like that monster feels emotionally resonant for them. In Beauty and the Beast, where to me, not having been through that or not having personal experiences that relate to that just feels a little, in Beauty and the Beast, that just feels a little on the
Hi,
nose.
Tina. Yes, I'm back. Sorry, Ian. I didn't mean to.
Oh,
cut
no,
you off there.
you're all good. The
thanks,
Queller is
Tina.
like
I'm
something
back.
you'd see in a 1980s VHS rental store, like the Ghoulies Return. Yeah, exactly. And that's probably a personal bias I have against this monster. Is when I was a kid, I was a kid in the 80s, the latex basket case, Tales from the Crypt style monsters like this were everywhere and scared the crap out of me. But it's a particular kind of garbage pail kid aesthetic that I have a revolting reaction to.
See, I think it's a pretty well done demon. I think it's one of the creepier ones. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Nile more to Kinderstort than Gentleman, but this one, I think it's pretty good. The only
Yeah.
thing, it's kind of ridiculous and impractical. Like, it can climb ceilings, but
A
it's got
little
these
impractical.
tiny little arms to like
Uh,
scoot itself along with. Like, it's very odd.
So did it crawl along the ground and then up the wall and then go in the top of the doorway to go?
Yeah,
Like, what is the deal
right.
with this thing?
But it's got these tiny little arms too. So yeah, I
The
mean,
Queller would be,
but
it would work in Farscape, but it'd be a different story. Yeah.
yeah, but I think I mean, it looks pretty creepy.
It looks very creepy.
I use like, is the problem that it looks goofy? Like, do you think it looks goofy? Because
No, it's tough to define.
when I think 80s monsters, I think like goofy and cheesy, for the most part, anyway.
It's tough to define when, to me, a design becomes from like cool or interesting to bad taste. And that's a weird, like, I've not spoken this out of my head before, so I'm trying to figure this out as we're having this conversation.
I don't
There's something
get bad
from
taste at all.
yeah, there's something to me that it become like the monster that they're cribbing on is the Fluke Man from X-Files, and it was always in the sewers. There was something about the context of it was like the grossness kind of fit and had purpose because it was a sewer monster. It was always in the sewers. They were revolted constantly or whatever. And like in this, I don't know. It's just like to go to revolting feels so strange to me.
I really don't understand bad taste, because bad taste suggests it's kind of offensive or something, and I don't.
No,
I don't get
revolting and is different than offensive. I'm not offended by it. I don't care.
Okay, well, that's typically what bad taste means, though, right? Offensive or like,
no. In poor taste can just be a joke that was in poor taste, not necessarily offensive, but like not reading the room. There's a step before offensive that's like.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very subjective interpretation of the monster.
I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. Well, I mean, I do disagree.
Well, we have different feelings about it, yeah.
I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from.
And mixing that design. Like, for instance, if this had been the demon from the opening of... that's a cool design. Or I like the crater hit.
Yeah. No, I like that dam. It's pretty.
I was thinking I Was Made to Love You, but that's wrong. The Willow's boyfriend demon in season 1.
I Robot Eugene Moloch.
Moloch, the Moloch from the cold open, that very traditional demon design. Yeah, really that very traditional demon design. I think you have that style of demon design, and then you have this style of demon design, where this is designed to resemble a bug and sort of play on our natural revulsion to these kinds of things versus that kind of aesthetic. And I think that kind of aesthetic with this kind of dead serious, grounded, adult, painful material would have gotten out of the way of it a little bit more, where you go with that sort of revolting bug aesthetic and don't justify the reason for it. In X-Files, that thing was in the sewers. So it made sense that it resembled a fluke worm and had that design to it, that it was revolting because sewers are revolting. This kind of revolting design for him that elicits that skin-crawling revolting for no reason, because it's just a demon, and we know demons can look any way that they want them to look.
That's exactly why I don't have a problem with it, because it is just a demon, and they have to do something.
But the design should serve the story the same way. The design serves the theme. You can design a demon any way you want to. I'm saying it should. It doesn't have to, but it can. And so why would you not? Why would you pick something that looks like a ceiling turd with a face?
But I think
without it being a motivated design. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. But I think definitely with given the not the theme, but given like Joyce's spaced outness, and she's going through some.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call it mental illness, but something along those lines. I think it needed to be something creepy. I think that adds to, like, the scene where she's in bed and the Quella's on the ceiling. That needed a scary looking demon for that. I think if it was, I don't know where I'm going with that. I should have thought that through more.
I think too that there is a story where this is a good demon to have.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just don't think it's this story. That's all I'm saying. It's like I'm not specific. I don't think my issue with this is so specifically the demon itself. It is revolting, but the Kinderstadt is revolting. The way the eyes sort of pop out. I actually have a similar complaint in that particular story. But the demon from season 7, the Skin Eater, one of the most revolting demons in the whole thing, and we've had the whole queer coding conversation about that now. But other than that, it is a sort of Willow grappling with talk about design serving the story. Willow flayed a human being. So the demon she confronts in that one is the one who eats her skin, who flays people, and all of that. And so like that design there is justified. It's revolting and horrifying, but to me it's perfectly in place and justified by the story that it's inside of.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
I just don't think, but I mean, in a show, there's 170 odd episodes. I don't think you're going to be able to do that every time.
I agree. I agree that it's a challenge, but it doesn't negate the criticism, unfortunately.
Sure.
Like the reasons why certain things may not happen is like Doomed occurs. Doomed is going to occur in a 22 episode season where they have a bad ADR and whatever. But like it's still incumbent on someone doing a video series to say the ADR in this was poor.
Mm-hmm. But so for me, it is nice when there is, it all fits together like a pretty little jigsaw puzzle. I get that. Sure. And that's wonderful. But for me, that's just not a necessity with some things. With some things. And one of those things a necessity is the demon, I don't
I mean, like the revolting monster, I'm not a horror fan, and revolting monster design is specifically triggering for me, where I'm just like, it's never cool. It's never, I never go, what a cool monster. Like the Fluke Man kind of in X-Files, where we'd never seen anything like that before. But but you're a fan, so to have that, so you have that, it has that appeal to you.
What I was trying to say before, though, was that I think the creepiness of the Quella does serve a purpose in this episode. It serves the episode, I think, because it is so creepy. I think this episode
that was the goal, but I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, just that it needed to be a creepy demon for this episode. It had to be something unique and scary.
More medical kind of grossness might have fit this episode better. I think, Emily. I think the whole idea of like discomfort was something they were playing with. Like the way people experience anxiety and discomfort over what Joyce is going through. But this, to me, is not. I don't know what it would be.
Tanduster. And it's an alien, but Ben summoned it. That's weird to me. I mean, I should have just.
Well, it's they qualify it as demon from the sky.
Yeah, I wonder if Quella means something. I bet it does.
Tangusta.
Yeah, Tandusta.
I think you're a little ahead of me. She just said Tandusta.
Oh yeah, no, me too. It's just Dinar mentioned it, and it's a thing I always remember from this episode how they mispronounce it.
Well, to quell is to put down, to quell a rebellion.
Oh yeah.
So they're quelling the outbreak of madness in Sunnydale, and it fits with the theme. The season deals with, Out of My Mind.
Mhm.
There's a reference to Quell the Madman. Yeah, see, that's what the Queller was
Yeah.
doing.
Okay.
There are
Yeah.
references to sanity and all of that, seen through the lens of early 2000s treatment of mental illness.
Hmm.
Um, but nonetheless, it's a big part of the way the theme works in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's scientific magic. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the show doesn't really do a lot in terms of well, there wasn't really like this is the only instance I can think of where it plays with the idea of extraterrestrials and aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
That could have been an interesting road to explore, but then
Once you open that door, it's kind of like,
yeah, that's the thing. Like because it's not about aliens, it's about demons,
I mean, and
and
that's kind of, that might be a difficulty with this episode, is like trying to have your cake and eat it too.
yeah,
You want to do the X
yeah,
Files, government
yeah,
science stuff, but you don't
yeah.
want to break your
I just
universe.
Yeah, I just wonder why they chose to make it an alien when it really isn't necessary. Like, to me, there's nothing about it that really serves it other than trying to maybe be an homage to the X Files.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it an homage?
I probably not. I have no idea. I mean, I've never really watched the X Files, so I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know where that line is from cribbing on. The last Angel episode guide I did, it was for the trial.
Mhm.
And the trial has an entire section. The trial section itself is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Right.
Every trial that Angel faces lines up with the trials that Indiana faces, down to you must choose, but choose wisely, for as the real grail will bring you life, the false one will take it from you. Like everything lined up perfectly. Is that an
Yeah.
homage, or was that they had 22 episodes to write and they
Right.
just were like,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know where
I
that
mean,
line is.
I think
Jane Espenson actually got mad at me on
yeah, I remember that.
Twitter because I thought that there was an homage to Star Trek in it, and she read
Yeah.
that as me accusing her of plagiarism.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it is a fine line, but I think because you showed me a picture of that monster from the X Files, and there's no way that like they accidentally made the Quella look so much like it. There's no way.
Every time I
Like,
watch this scene, this
that wasn't an
gets.
accident.
Why is this a song?
Yeah. I mean, I love the contrast though. It's so upbeat and
It's a
yeah.
wonderful composition. The lighting on her is beautiful.
Also,
Her performance is terrific. This is one of the most memorable scenes in the series.
I
In this
also want
episode.
to say I love Christine Sutherland's performance in the bed there when she's talking to the demon.
Well, it's nice to give her a chance to kind of break out of typical Joyce.
Yeah. Because she's kind of she wouldn't have been the most interesting character to play most of the time.
Unshelled pity. Yes, I offended Jane Espenson, I think, on Twitter. I've had poor interactions with a couple of the writers on Twitter. So I try and avoid all contact with the people who created the show now, unless they reach out to me, which happens.
All the government stuff on here, like on this episode, stands out as particularly bad.
They never they never were able to hit an authentic note when it came to, like, college felt authentic. The freshmen felt like the authentic college experience to me. Nothing about the initiative ever had that air of authenticity.
And why are they wearing berets? Like, what the hell? There's the thumbnail.
I didn't call it. Ugh, God, no reason.
But it doesn't need a reason.
It doesn't need, but it could have a reason. That's the
Sure.
point. It could. This is a great Dawn scene, and I forgot to call it out in the video. She immediately comes to her mom's aid. She's brave.
Yeah.
This is good Dawn, good
There's
Dawn
no way that
material.
thing can move that fast. No way.
Yeah, when Buffy hears her, Emmy, it is a very exciting cut, right? That's a great cut.
Yeah.
I get puppet show vibes from this too. When she had to do
Ah.
the blocking with the puppet.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like
It's
suddenly
good. Yeah. I was
we
just thinking
naturally
that.
stopped talking. We naturally were
Yeah.
like,
And
it's well done.
it's as soon
This is
as you said that, I'm like, yeah, like because
nice and
I was just
intense.
about to say the same thing.
Yeah, it's again. Most of my issues with this one are the design and the treatment of the
Yeah.
illness.
But the suspense here is really good.
Yeah,
I like Sid as well.
Sid grew on me after I wrote the season 1 episode guide. I've since rewatched that episode a few times, and it gets more enjoyable every time I watch it. But I hated that episode when I wrote the season 1 episode guides. Evil.
James Masters is so good, man. The suspense feels false because Willow could have warned Buffy earlier. I don't see how that plays into it at all.
Well, we're not in cell phone town just yet. She'd have
But
to
I
answer
don't.
the phone.
To me, that doesn't make it false, though. I don't know.
Ah, and the bugs. It even has a bug squeak
See,
sound.
he's creepy. It's creepy.
Yeah, I've never disagreed with that. I just said wrong episode for that.
Oh, go away.
It's weird that Angel got a cell phone before Buffy or Dawn. Well,
Yeah, well, he
it's
had
a
a
different
business.
era. Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
era.
Also,
You
he
know.
was like running a business. It made more sense, I guess.
This was probably around the time that I got. I mean, I'm the say I aged in sync with Buffy, and this was roughly the period where I got my first cell phone. But people still had landlines, and there were still people that didn't have cell
Yeah.
phones. I had the
I got
Nokia brick that was indestructible that could take a bullet.
I got my first phone when I was like 14, so around like 2002 or 3, and it was this weird Siemens flip phone. It wasn't good at all. I didn't get a Nokia until later on. Tom still has a landline. Wow. Wow, I'm so impressed.
Yeah, can we talk
I've
about Ben summoning the demon?
I
What a
have
weird choice.
I technically have a landline. I got it with my internet connection, but I've never had a phone plugged into it.
Oh, see, it was
I don't
bundled.
even know what the number is. Yeah. Yeah, it just came with the internet.
It's kind of weird because I know it's a functional haircut, but I really like Joyce's hair there.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's very intricate, very nice.
I like Buffy's too.
Well, yeah, she's in full-on bombshell hair in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never thought about the whole idea of like memories of Dawn that weren't real is another question of mental illness and sanity, and you know how much memory matters when it comes to meaning and choices in the present, and yada yada yada. The gift at this rate is going to be a 4-hour-long video, but that one I would not mind.
You will insist on cutting down to an hour and a half.
I'll do a gift cut if I do. If I get aggressive with the edits in that one, but I don't mind that one being long.
Release the passion cut. Release the passion cut. Oh.
Yeah.
See, another
nice
moment where I'm like, this is in this episode?
Yeah. This is a nice scene. If you cut out you weeping, it'll be like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
She does belong to us, though. That's a nice line.
That's an interesting thought, Nathaniel.
So often the in interviews I've seen, and when you listen to the commentary tracks, the writers talk about, "Oh, I didn't write this scene." You know, the name that goes on the episode, or the name that went on the episode at the end of the thing, was the person who wrote the most of it. As I understand, I don't exactly know how the rules work. So, like, Mayor Smith is an uncredited staff writer on a lot of episodes,
and Joss also got like a lot of uncredited.
Right,
like,
Joss
writing.
rewrote, did substantial rewrites to tons of episodes. This scene does not feel like it was written by the same person who wrote the whole episode, and it, like, because that's a warm, I don't know.
We did it.
We did it.
It's good to be back, man.
Yeah, buddy, it's good to have you back.
Thanks.
One more episode, but the next episode, one more episode in the Dreary trilogy, but the next episode is Into the Woods, which will be a more spirited discussion.
Yes, absolutely.
And I may pass out from rage or exhaustion.
Oh, you and I probably gonna butt heads a lot during that.
Yeah,
I just realized. Yeah, I mean, we already have. We talked about it. We've talked about it a lot the last couple of weeks.
It's always interesting too. Is like, I think sometimes I have the mob on my side and you don't, and that like. Yeah, I'm not absolutely. Sure. I'm not sure where the mob falls on the opinions of that episode, so it'll be.
It's okay. I'm used to dying alone on different hills.
On different hills.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's fine.
Well, I treasure your willingness to do so, buddy. Trust me.
Always, buddy. Always.
All right, my friends. Well, that was. What did we watch? I'm sick.
I was about to say Into the Woods, but
Listening to Fear.
Listening to Fear. That's what we watched.
In 30 minutes, we're going to do the patron hangout on the other stream. I'm going to fire that up and rewatch the episode guide for this one, even though I only made it 2 months ago. And then join in with patrons in the $5 and up group. And in 2 weeks, we will be watching The Trial.
Can I say something before we sign off?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last month, I've been quite unwell. I had kidney stones, and it was a whole terrible experience. But I just want to say thank you so much for all of the love and support that I got from this community. So many of you were just very loving and very supportive, and I just want to say that I really appreciate it. It made a huge difference to have so much love coming from everybody. So thank you.
Most definitely, we're glad you're back. And you and I are recording a podcast either tomorrow or Monday. So,
Yep.
Podcast of the Nerds will be back. Probably be talking Hamlet. You had your first Hamlet experience.
I did.
And boy, was it a doozy.
With the wonderful David Tennant. So,
yeah. 3 hours of David Tennant.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Did you say David Tennant?
No.
It sounded like you said David Tennant.
All right, my friends. We will see you in 30 minutes for the Patreon Hangout. Appreciate your time. Love this community. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, friends.